This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Tuesday, November 27th. All right, let's just remember basically one thing to go over. Today is Traders Exchange, so we will be beginning at 12:30. All right, make sure everyone. I don't think I have anything left over, so let's make sure that we send our questions and topic to TE at ahead of the charts. Com. And like I said, we will begin that at our usual time at 12:30. All right. As always, everything we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So this morning, when I was looking over at my scanners, I literally thought something was broken because it was just a complete utter lack of really much that's going on out there during the pre-market trading wise. But we do have some really good stories out there, as well as we do have some pretty good things, pretty decent things for us to be looking at. So let's look at number one, NVDA. We talked about this yesterday in our afternoon meeting, as well as we're going to be focusing on this pretty heavily this morning, considering the fact that, like I said, everything else out there, not really a ton of trading that's going on, but NVDA we've had buying at 150, 151, 152, 153, and it just has not really pulled back yet from all that buying that we did see yesterday. So I am expecting the stock to make a pretty hefty, a pretty substantial move underneath that 150. We'll be looking at, at a minimum that 149 level. Before we would end up seeing this come back up over that buying. Now this morning, nothing really too great print-wise. We do have a few prints at that 151 level on the bid side, but you can see it's just pretty mixed. I mean, there was a few, basically one ask print and a few smaller bursts that came in at 151 on that ask as well. But overall, I mean, it's telling the same story. Someone's looking to ride this down a little bit because of the fact that it needs to pull up underneath that 150, and then the overall move we are going to be looking for the upside. All right, moving over, AMRN, next one that we're going to be looking at. All right, coming in, it's another one where it's got a real mix at that 18 level. I mean, we could see there was definitely some really good selling that came into it. 1850, you could see 723 this morning. Gave us some really good prints, a nice, real nice burst at that 1850 level. So, we really would have expected it to kind of jump up a little bit more. And remember, we do have prints that are above there. But as of right this second, it's another one where, I mean, it's overall, we're just seeing way more selling than we're seeing buying. What we are seeing, you can see right here at 1775, after coming down to this double bottom, we are seeing a lot more covering coming in. Reason I say covering is because overnight we can see it took a pretty big hit. So obviously the market makers were going to know that was coming in. So there is a lot of covering. And, essentially, if we look, coming down to pretty much, like I said, that double bottom, basically what that's telling us is the fact that, they have made their money from this morning. Now, would I expect them to make a little bit more based off the difficulty of trade? Yeah, probably. And considering the fact that we do still, like I said, we have some good new selling that came in right above that 18. I'm going to be expecting a move down more than that 1850. And then overall, based off of the buying at 18, could come right back up. Apple. Now, Apple, I don't know if it's going to let me show the prints from this morning. I hope so. Okay, here we go. All right, look what happened this morning at 8:09, and pretty much from 8:09:22 to 8:09:26. This is a gigantic burst of prints for the pre-market, which is just a very, very odd thing to see. We can see, for pre-market, the orders right now are just absolutely non-existent. So the difficulty of trade level here is pretty incredible. So if we look over and see what we have as the the exchange, you can see it's happened just on a regular exchange. So that was someone that really came out there and bought those at that time period. It's not like they were being reported later. So certainly something to look at. So I'm going to be assuming, not assuming, I'm going to be looking for this thing to really, fall down a substantial amount underneath that 171. You can see underneath the 171.50, we really did not in any way make, the move down that we would have expected. But overall, it looks like someone's buying back into Apple was pretty interesting. So it's another one where I'm going to need to see a little bit more of a story, overall, just basically for the trigger to the downside of things. Because once again, a pullback of 50 cents is just not going to do it. We have 1.2 million share print line that's sitting here at 172.29. So that would be a good spot to look for this trigger. It's never pulled up over that monster selling at 185. So 185 and 186, I believe we have that huge selling there as well. So keep those levels in mind as we're coming in this morning. And then one other thing that I do have is AEMD, which isn't anything special. This is another one where a lot of times we see these stocks move up and we end up kind of just ends up just kind of dying out. 225. It came up to a pretty substantial level, and then that was pretty much it. It looks like it kind of sold off. So I'm going to keep this on my side list because even on its way down and on the way back up, there was some decent buying that came in up there. So overall, I mean, it's nothing too great. If you come back over, I don't think it's going to go all the way down. But we do have some new buying that came in at around the 2 level and above that 2 level. So that's just something really interesting to look at. But just like we saw yesterday, a lot of times we see it pretty much just die off. So SQ is another one where this morning coming in, you can see 65.80, which was a real interesting time yesterday, 525-ish. We saw these prints come in at 65.80, but this morning, just nothing going on in there yet. What we're going to need to see is some type of show of hand before we really look to do anything. And then JD this morning, you can see the same type of deal. There's just no real trading that's going on in it. We do have above the ask prints, and we do have a little bit of buying, but nothing too special, nothing that I really see there yet that we're going to be going to making any type of judgment calls on yet. We're going to need some better shows of hand out there. I mean, let's take a look at the scanners real quick, and I just want you to understand something. This morning, if you look, okay, it is pretty much, there's about a handful of stocks that are pulling up on our scanners. So AEMT, which we've already spoken about, ASNS, 309,000 shares, but it's just too consolidated. Volume is too low for such a cheap stock, no real interest. Any's not terrible. And remember, Any we know has a lot of buying that's sitting at that 8 level. So I am going to put Any on our list. I really wish it would trade a lot more than it has this morning so far. I mean, we only have that 1 minute where we really got anything coming back in. But the reason Any's going on our list is because at this 8 level, like I said, we do have certainly a huge position that has been taken. So we know there's prints above. We know there's buying above. It's just a matter of really kind of being able to break out from this consolidation that it's sitting in. And then that's it on our gainers side. Moving over to the loser side of things, we have GSM, 293,000 shares, but absolutely no trading going on. AMRN, which we've already spoken about, and then KOS, 5.7 million shares, but just not something I'm going to be looking to trade. You can see absolutely no movement with that much volume. Tells me that it's not going to be doing much, so there's nothing for us to really go on there. So really what I'm looking for on this morning, I mean, my best show of hand, well, the best what I see is that NVDA. I mean, overall having to break underneath that 150, also being over 150 being a psychological level. I'm going to be looking on the short side, and that's my, by far my favorite show of hand this morning. All right, now anything else out there that I missed? Nope. All right. So let's get ready for the morning. As I said before, Traders Exchange at 12:30 this afternoon. Everything is always going to be Eastern time. So I will see everyone there, and then I'll talk to everyone in the chat. Happy trading.